apples. Let's make apple crisp with the sole intent of freeze drying it. Fun fact, apple crisp is one of the easiest things to make. It was the thing that I made when I was a kid. Growing up, I was in charge of the apple crisp. All we do is peel apples, slice them up, stick them in here, make the topping, spread it across, and bake it. So I kind of doubled the recipe. These are all, it's supposed to be in an 8x8, and I kind of like made a lot of apples. We could use more apples. Should we use more apples? We are just testing this. So we're going to do the topping. And the topping is going to be flour, brown sugar, oatmeal, butter. But because we're freeze drying it, we have to cut back on the butter because you can't have full butter because fats don't do very well for long-term storage. This is not going to be a long-term storage recipe. This is going to be a short-term, fun little snack, hiking, walking, all kinds of stuff. We'll even probably, you know, package it up fun too. So I'm playing, do not write this down because it may not work out. I'm going to do 1 cup of oats, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of brown sugar. I'm still thinking about the butter. Flour. Now we're going to do 1 cup of brown sugar. Actually, maybe just a little bit less than a cup of brown sugar. Go big or go home. We're just going all in. I'm doing 1.5 teaspoons of nutmeg and cinnamon just because, yeah, I can and I like it. And, you know, you do what you like. If you've like never made a crisp before, I've been doing it since I was like 8, maybe 5, something like that. They're very easy. You just mix all this ingredients together. Then we're gonna chunk up the butter and we're gonna mix that in. You cannot tell anybody how easy this is. Heat your oven to 375, you're gonna need that. And then all we're gonna do is chunk up this butter. My refrigerator is still absolutely freezing cold, so this butter is freezing cold. And I'm just going to chunk it up, and then we're going to mash it in to the mixture. Now you're just going to mix it all up. It's all just going to melt together. All honesty, I did use a pastry blender. The butter's supposed to be softened, but because you just messaged me and I felt the need to do this for us, it was hard. So you're just going to pour this all over. Spread it out evenly. Then we're going to pop it in a 375-degree oven until it's all bubbly and beautiful. Okay, it's out, and the hardest thing is going to be not eating it. Do you hear it sizzling? I'm going to wait for it to cool down just slightly, and then we're going to scoop it into balls and put it on some freeze dryer trays. Okay, so because the crisp part is kind of powdery, and the apples are wet, I am using my pastry knife chef tool blender to kind of mix it all together. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I'm also chopping the apples up. We're gonna let it cool a little bit so that we can put them in little balls and put them on the trays and then flatten them. So they'll kind of be like an apple crisp cookie or an apple crisp bite. Ooh, I like this idea. You should have more ideas with me. I'm just using a cookie scoop, and we're scooping and piling. Okay, the secret food addict in me was really hoping that there would be some left. I can lick this. I can lick this. I'm gonna wait for these to cool slightly, and then we're gonna push them down with a glass. Okay, let's just do it with our hands. Wet hands. Clean, wet hands. And the reason you can do it with wet hands is because the freeze dryer is going to take all the moisture away. They're going to be just like this, right here. Like that, a little smashed. Interesting what the sugar is going to do. Okay, I'm going to finish this, and then I'm going to put them in the freezer, and then we'll pop them in the freeze dryer in a couple days. Guess what just came out of the freeze dryer, and I am dying to taste it, but I'm waiting for you. So let's get through the facts. Y'all know I document everything. It took 22 hours, 47 minutes, and 21 seconds. Temperature was in the 50s, humidity was about 54%, and the mTORs got to 128, was the lowest when I took it out. This is what they look like. I think they look really good, so let's taste them. Ooh. Oh. Oh, baby. I have more apples. Praise God, I saved apples. Just waiting to see when these came out, what they tasted like. So now you gotta go back, watch the video, and write the recipe down. That's good. Look at that. Oh, it's not super sweet. It's not like Skittles sweet, right? They freeze dry the Skittles. I think that's disgustingly sweet. This is appley oats goodness. Next time, I'm gonna make them thinner. Next time, thinner. Won't these make sweet little gifts? This is absolutely amazing. Guess what the rest of my apples are going to be used for? Aren't those cute? Isn't that absolutely adorable?